They served our country. Now some California veterans could be served eviction notices over their end-of-life option.
Are you fearful that you'll be evicted?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen.
California veterans living in 8 veterans' homes could face eviction if they seek an aid-in-dying medication that's legal for everyone else in the state. The California Veterans Affairs Department is banning the so-called death with dignity option because the homes receive federal funding and the option is not a federal law.
New tonight, as CBS 13's Steve Large reports, that's leaving some veterans facing an end-of-life battle they don't want.
This sprawling California Veterans Home campus in Yountville, tucked in the Napa County hills, is home to some 1,000 residents, disabled and retired veterans. 73-year-old Bob Sloan is one of them.
We're not treated like mature adults. We have to be led around.
The campus is now also home to growing controversy.
It got me extremely angry.
California's death with dignity law is banned here.
I came here basically with the same purpose as just about everybody else that came here. I came here to die.
This is a photo of Sloan more than 50 years ago, in 1963, when his local paper highlighted his enlistment to the U.S. Army. He served 3 years during the Vietnam era.
What stronger bond can you get?
Putting your life on the line.
Yes.
Now Sloan says his life is on the line again with failing health. This war veteran wants the peace of knowing he can legally choose a doctor's life-ending prescription. California lawmakers passed the Death with Dignity law in 2016, but if Sloan and others who live here choose the end-of-life option, they will be facing eviction.
To be evicted on the last days of my life would be the hardest thing that I can imagine.
The California Department of Veterans Affairs will not allow physicians to administer aid-in-dying treatments here, citing concerns over losing federal funding. CalVet declined numerous requests for an on-camera interview. An administrator issued a statement reading in part the California Department of Veterans Affairs would assist residents who plan to consume an aid-in-dying drug in relocating to a hospice, family home, or other location.
How can a person in the last 6 months of their life, if they're in such pain or agony, maybe they don't have strength or whatever, to make a move.
And another concern from people who live here, that the California Department of Veterans Affairs is censoring even the discussion of the aid-in-dying option. This group of residents recently gathered at a restaurant off-site to discuss the challenges of changing the veterans' home rules on aid-in-dying.
I don't think ignorance is a good working tool, and I reject the idea that we would promote it.
Jack Warren lives at the California Veterans Home. She says California Veterans Affairs went so far as to seize a recording of an aid-in-dying presentation from the community television station where Warren worked. She received a letter reading, "It is not approved to air on a state-owned television using state equipment since the primary focus of the presentation is to criticize and lobby CalVet." Warren resigned in protest.
What they've done is made sure that the veterans who live here don't know about this law.
A fight for terminally ill veterans choosing aid-in-dying as their final wish.
If I can't do it legally, I guess I have to do it illegally.
Death with dignity, unless you live at the Veterans Home of California.
Come to find out that we weren't allowed to be a part of that.
This veteran says that's not dignity. It's more like a disgrace. Bob Sloan and those members say they think they do have a solution. They want new state legislation that would give them the right to seek aid-in-dying medication with the guarantee that federal dollars would not be used. So far, they haven't found any lawmakers willing to write that bill.
So, Steve, what's the next option if that doesn't happen?
There was already talk of a lawsuit, advocacy groups speaking out on behalf of these veterans, but lawsuits can take a lot of time, and these veterans don't have a lot of time.
Compelling story. There'll be a strong reaction to this, no doubt. Steve, thank you. This story had us wondering tonight how many patients have participated in the Death with Dignity law in the state. At last check, doctors estimated they had written more than 500 prescriptions for the lethal drug since the law was passed more than a year ago now. But physicians say many patients can't pay for the medicine because of price gouging.